Welcome back everyone to Joe's DIY. Today I'm going to show you the ultimate RGB console setup that I have created for myself. Let's start off with the TV. So this is a Trinitron Sony from about 2002. It is 36 inches, which is a huge TV. Very heavy too. But if you ask me, this is completely worth it because the quality of picture that I've been getting out of the video games with the setup that I have has pretty much been incredible. So as you can see, I've went ahead and I added all the consoles. Well, some of these are actually doubles, but I have an NES in there, and I have a SNES or Super Nintendo. I have a Nintendo 64. I have a Mega Drive or a Sega Genesis. I got a Dreamcast, and I got a Sega Saturn in here. Now, as you can see, the quality of picture is very good. I mean, I'll put it even up close. You can see all that interlacing that you would want with a CRT. And you also notice the colors are very clear, very vivid. And I have this TV set up on optimal settings, so you're getting basically the best quality here. Okay, so I want to go in depth into how I set this all up. So I'm gonna start with the back. So as you can see, like I mentioned, this is a Sony Trinitron. The exact model is KV36FS13. This is, you can see it by the model number. This is a 36-inch screen TV released in about 2002. So as you can see, I do use the composite ports, but that would be only for the SNES because I did not modify the SNES to give me an RGB signal. So this will still go through composite, but I'll tell you right now that the composite looks very good on this TV. And as you can see, I have component on the back of this TV, and I'm going to get into that in a second. So the way I manage component is by using a SCART to component converter. So as you can see, I got my SCART cable there going into a splitter, and I'll get to that in a second. But this takes the SCART signal that I'm getting from my consoles, my 16-bit consoles, and my 64 and 32-bit consoles. Sorry, I think the Sega Dreamcast is about 128 bit console. So, anyways, so I'm taking the SCART signal and I'm having it go through component and into the TV, as you can see right there. And I find that this is a very good way of not having to do the RGB mod on a TV and just having this transfer into the TV. I do not notice any lag or any difference. Of course, I don't have, I've only tested this through composite, but I do not notice a difference in performance as far as doing it this way. And I do have the splitter because obviously I have more than one console connected into the SCART converter. So you know, I think I've labeled some of them. So I have the Dreamcast there on A. On B, currently I have the Nintendo 64, I think. And then on here I have the Sega Genesis. This is going out to the converter. And this is for sound because I've separated the sound from the SCART signal. Now, as you notice, the three leads going through the output, you only have your red, blue, and green. So you don't get sound out of this, which is probably one of the drawbacks. I was considering doing a mod on this before, but because the splitter already has an audio out, I just decided to stick with that and not have to mod this. These are mounted with brackets on the side of the TV. So as you can see right there, I also mounted the SCART splitter Okay, and then I do have some of the consoles not plugged in. I don't have the SNES plugged in right now, but I will show that in the video. And I also have the Saturn that's not plugged in. So we're going to test all these consoles to see what the quality of picture we get with the Trinitron. And as you can see on the other side of the TV, I would say the stand, the TV stand. On the other side of the TV stand, I have power strip. As you can see, I got all the consoles plugged in. And I do also have another power supply, another power strip going into the TV, and somewhere in there, I don't know if you can see it, but I do have all the consoles plugged in. And then I have a single power strip that plugs out to the power. Okay. One thing I'd like to mention is that originally, you know, I didn't have this. Originally, I didn't have this SCART switch added to this part, but I highly recommend that you do so if you're planning on also using multiple consoles, but also for the sake of the audio. There are other alternatives. I mean, you can get one of those SCART adapters that you can put here, and then it'll have the two AV outs that you can pull out the sound. But one thing I wanted to mention is that all my consoles originally without the splitter worked except for the Sega Genesis. I don't know what it was. I mean, I did do a region mod on it, but at first I thought that the region mod had messed up the RGB signal, but then I tried one of the consoles that I didn't even touch at all, and it still gave me the same problem. So you're definitely going to need one of these if you have a Sega Genesis with this, at least with this type of composite. I don't know if it's just this thing that was malfunctioning, but once I put it into this RGB switch, I didn't have any problems anymore with the Sega Genesis, and gave me like very good quality picture. But that's just something to bear in mind if you're planning on buying something like this for your setup. But this right now works awesome. And I love just the idea of having a screen this big to play games, you know, retro games that are you're just getting the best quality picture. So let's go ahead and demo all the consoles, and then we'll see what each one looks like with the setup. Here I have the Nintendo, the NES plug-in with composite, and as you can see, I mean, it gives a pretty decent picture. You know, you do see a little bit of artifacting, but I think this picture's pretty good in spite of that. And the game here is Castlevania, so I'm just showing you the demo. As you can see, you're going to see a little bit of artifacting, but it still gives, this TV still gives a very good quality picture. Here we have the Sega Genesis. And just wanted to show these colors. I mean, they're unbelievable. I mean, you can see there's no artifacting at all from the start screen. The interlacing is pretty clean. I mean, look at that. Even in extreme close-up, that is very clean. No distortion at all. And you are getting a very big screen, very comfortable to play with. Here you have the Sega Dreamcast plugged into RGB SCART. And again, those colors are pretty clean. You'd probably get cleaner colors with VGA, but the quality of RGB is just good, very good. As you can see, those colors are pretty clear. Much better than component. Not as good as VGA probably, but for an analog signal, this is going to be the best you're going to be able to get. So as you can see, the quality of the RGB signal is very clean.
Damn it! The whole thing's shot!
Great. I've got no luck. These things always happen to me.
Rita! Stop your complaining and come help me!
Oh well.
So this is the N64 through SCART. I did do an RGB mod on this console about a year ago or two. So I am getting a RGB signal, and at that I'm getting, I think, a very clean RGB signal. The interlacing is pretty vivid.
Press start to play.
I mean, I am pretty content with the way N64 looks. I think it's probably one of the better consoles that I have hooked up that looks great with this RGB signal. So this is the Super Nintendo playing Final Fight. You can see the colors very vivid. I mean, you can see the logo. I mean, that is very clean as you can get with this particular setup. So here's the Sega Saturn, and this is Nights into Dreams. And you can see the colors, again, very clean. As you can see, the colors are very clean, very crisp. So here are my final thoughts. I think that this is probably as good as it's going to get for me as far as trying to chase the best quality signal that I can get out of my retro consoles. Having a 36-inch screen definitely is the ultimate that you can get, and especially with these consoles, because if you put any of these in a modern TV, I mean, you're always going to have problems with the quality. Usually composite signal is probably the best you're going to get out of all of these on a modern TV, unless you get a converter for RGB to HDMI. But I feel like using this, you get a more authentic feel for the games, and also, you know, it's just the ultimate, because I mean, usually TVs this size weren't really used for these consoles, but being that this is a CRT and you're going to be able to get a retro picture as well as a large picture. I mean, I think it's the best. Some words of advice though, these TVs are extremely heavy, so if you're gonna get one of these for yourself, you're gonna need some help in moving it. I got really lucky on one of the online apps that I use. I think it was OfferUp. The seller basically gave this TV away. He didn't want it anymore, obviously, because it's just a very heavy, humongous TV. I mean, 36 inches. There was a huge... I had a 32-inch TV, and the difference between the two is a lot, because this TV is very difficult to move around. As you can see at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, but this is a little bit elevated because I did actually... I don't know if I can get a good view of that. I actually did install wheels on this stand. And the stand did come with the TV, luckily, as well, because this is a very huge TV, and I definitely, if I didn't get a stand with it, I probably would have had to find one for it. But luckily, you know, I got all these consoles to fit in there, and all I did was just drill some screws to mount the power strip, and you know, I had to take apart. Let me see if I can move this. I had to take apart both the RGB converter and the switch to install these brackets inside the plastic and drill them into the actual stand. And I think that's very useful because it makes it a lot easier to move this TV around, so you don't have to worry about pulling any cables out. And like I said, I think it's a very good idea to just get the power strip and just have one cable. Let me see if I can move this again. Gonna get one cable and connect it to just this one cable here. It's very easy to just disconnect it and put it away if you don't have it inside your home. I mean, eventually, I think one day I would like to have this inside the house, because I mean, it's just amazing and it's great. And I'm just so happy that I'm not going to use my HDMI TV. Although I did like using my big screen TV to play these. You get more of an authentic feel playing this on a CRT. And the color image, I mean, it's just very clean. So I'm going to go ahead and just make this my main retro console TV for these video games. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my little sharing of my setup. I definitely think that this would be great if you don't want to spend all that money for a professional video monitor, because they are pretty expensive and they're very hard to find. I mean, this TV was free, and then the stand came with it. I got very lucky with that. And then the game consoles, I mean, I picked them up, sometimes some at Goodwills, some on Let Go when it used to be a website, and the N64 I picked it up at a Goodwill. So I mean, you get these consoles all the time. So if you can get this setup, I mean, I think you can get the ultimate, retro gaming TV setup like this, But it will be very heavy, so expect some help if you want to, move this TV around and put it on a stand like this. Anyways, have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you.